Fishbowl Challenge Finals. We are all here, all ready to get started, and I'll be your host for today. I am Vandana Bharwani. I'm one of the co-founders of Fishbowl Challenge. This is our 5th year, so we've come a long way, and we are very excited to have such an amazing community that has grown along the way with us. Over the last 5 years, our team at Fishbowl Challenge has had the opportunity to work with hundreds of youth across the world on their ideas to solve the world's most pressing problems. Working with all of you and 4 years of contestants before this has been a constant source of hope, inspiration, and optimism for our collective future. Our network of challengers is now present in over 35 countries across 5 continents. We keep in touch with our alumni. We message them regularly. So for those of you who are in the Fishbowl for the first year, welcome. You are now part of a global community. The 5 finalists that you will meet today embody entrepreneurship, drive, and a sense of purpose. They have worked tirelessly together over the last 6 months. And the most amazing part is most of them have not met each other in person. Many of our teams, as you meet them today, you'll see they are in fact present on the ground in multiple countries. They met through the Fishbowl Challenge and have worked very well together remotely to get to this point. We started the challenge with over 700 contestants and applicants this year. We narrowed the group to 100 who formed teams, and those 20-odd teams today are down to the finalist 5. So for the 5 teams that are here today, give yourself a huge pat on the back. I know it wasn't an easy journey getting here, but you've done an amazing job, and we're incredibly proud to support you in your social impact journey. A few house rules for today, just to get you familiar with our format as well as a few logistics. We have 5 teams presenting. I'll be introducing our judges and walking you through these rules, but for the teams, if you want to know the order you're in, this has already been sent to you, but I'll repeat it one time so you can just go ahead and mentally get prepared. The first team will be Altruistech Health Solutions. Second one is Bliss Uganda. Third presenter is Birth Ease Initiative. Fourth will be Charcoal Fruit Solution. And the 5th one is Cocoa World. So that is the order in which you will present today. This session is being recorded. You probably got the Zoom message already. This way we can review it later as we continue to support your teams past the presentation. Please stay on mute. I know we've all been very present in the world of Zoom these last few years, but this is a good reminder. Even if your team is presenting, please make sure that only the person speaking at that moment is unmuted and everybody else is muted. The team's already familiar. We have time limits today. Each team gets 10 minutes to present, after which I'll hand off to the judges for Q&A, and there will be up to 15 minutes of Q&A. It is critical that we stay on time, so I will be providing in the Zoom chat window a 3-minute warning and a 1-minute warning. And at the please use those warnings to wrap up and keep an eye on time yourself. If just a tip, I know we're all logging in, and I know my bandwidth has been flickering this morning. If you have any bandwidth issues, feel free to turn off your video, and that will hopefully help you have a better audio connection. So with those house rules in place, I have the pleasure of introducing our judges. We have an amazing panel for you today, a very experienced panel. I'll tell you a little about them and hand off to each of them to tell you more as well and introduce themselves. First up, we have Clinton Obura. Clinton is based in Nairobi. He has been a business executive at companies like Google and Uber Eats. Currently, he is an entrepreneur himself. He's very well known in the various entrepreneurship, venture, and investment circles in Africa. He's very familiar with being a mentor to startup teams as well. So he is someone who is living in the shoes of our challengers daily. And I know in speaking to Clinton, I've just been very impressed with his breadth of knowledge as well as his deep passion for entrepreneurship. So with that, over to you, Clinton, to say a few words.
Thank you so much. I think maybe more important than that is I was one of you just I schooled in Nairobi, went to school in Kenya all of my life, so nothing very special about me as far as my background is concerned. I'm
Clinton,
super
I'm sorry, I
excited.
can't hear you very clearly. I'm not sure if I'm the only one having that problem.
Sorry, is that better?
A little bit. Your voice is just a little crackly. I don't know whether that's related
Sorry,
to your headset.
is that better? I'm trying to change my microphone. Just a second. Is that better?
It's a little bit better. I don't know if turning off your video maybe for a couple minutes would be
Okay, let me just
helpful.
try that. Um, yeah, like I said, my name is Clinton. I'm from Kenya. Born and bred, so yeah, I was literally sitting in your seats 10, 12 years ago, thereabouts. I'm super excited to be part of this. I'm really looking forward to see all of the solutions that you guys are working on. I think if you look at like the African continent at the moment, it's so easy to be pessimistic. There's so many challenges across the continent. I think looking at you and looking at the solutions you guys are coming up with makes me very pessimistic. Sorry, makes me like optimistic about the future of the continent. So really looking forward to knowing all of you and hearing what has happened. Thank you.
Thank you, Clinton. I know we caught some of that, but maybe not all of it. So if you have a few minutes while the first team is presenting, I think it'd be great if we can try to get the audio a little better.
I'm sorry that out.
Okay, thank you. Next up, our next judge is Katie Ellick. Katie is part of Fishbowl Challenge from the very beginning. She was a college student herself, like many of you, when she joined Fishbowl Challenge. She is now a member of our board and leads our venture growth work stream. That is the work stream that the winners of today will be supported by as you go through your journey for the next 6 months. So Katie has deep knowledge of working with early stage entrepreneurs. She has worked at other venture firms where she's seen firsthand the challenges that entrepreneurs face. And in her day-to-day job, she is in the ground level of a startup as well. So I can't think of someone more closely aligned with our challengers than Katie. So over to you, Katie, to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Vandana. And thank you all for being here. I'm super excited to see the culmination of the past 6 months of work that you've done. Being able to follow the journey from the Fishbowl team and seeing the round 1 and round 2 presentations. I'm already expecting to be blown away by the change that you all are working on making in your communities, and I'm just really excited to again see the progress. And working with entrepreneurs like yourselves over the past 4 or 5 years with Fishbowl has been one of the most rewarding things that I've had the opportunity to do, and just have seen incredible impact come out of teams just like yourselves, and can't wait to help support some of you on that journey after today. So thank you all, and excited to get started.
Great. Welcome, Katie. And our third judge today is Tom Siegel. Many of you may have met with Tom before or heard him speak at some of our sessions. He is our founder and CEO. Tom was responsible for bringing our early group together and helping form the vision of Fishbowl. He was a long-term Google executive and also started his own startup soon after leaving Google. So he's been very experienced on both the big corporate side, seeing Google grow from a few thousand people to the giant it is today, and now more recently, starting his own company with two other founders and starting from the very 0.0 stage. So with that, over to you, Tom, to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Vandana. First of all, congratulations to all of you who made it to the finals. You worked really hard. You made it through some really tough competition, as Vandana pointed out, and we're just so excited as a judging panel to hear from you, and also give you some, maybe tough feedback. Please don't misunderstand that as us not appreciating what you do, but I think that is an important part of that process. As Vandana mentioned, I've started companies myself. Actually, my first one in high school was a social entrepreneurship startup. And then, for the past few years, I had my own technology company that I grew from the very beginning into still a very small one, but, hopefully one that's going to be around for a long time, technology company. And so I'm trying to, sort of go that same journey that you hopefully are all embarking on. And very excited to hear from you and discuss with you about the potential that your ideas and plans hold.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tom. And welcome, judges. We're thrilled that you're here. We just have a fantastic panel today with such different experiences that I know the finalists are in for some really thoughtful questions and feedback. So with that, our first team, I'm ready to hand off to you. This is team Altruistech Health Solutions. Judges, you have your scoring sheet that was sent to you via email. I'll go ahead and pop that email to the top of your inbox if you need it. But with that, team Altruistech Tech, take it away.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Once you start presenting and speaking, I will start your 10-minute clock.
Okay, let me find the screen share. Can you hear me clearly? Please confirm if my voice is audible enough.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, let's start. Hello, everyone. We are Altruistech, and welcome to our presentation. How can a country thrive when almost 30% of its people are suffering from mental health issues? Tell me, how can the youth be productive when over 27% of them are suffering from transgenerational traumas from their families that witnessed the genocide? Rwanda is secretly bleeding, and that blood is still in the hearts of 1 of every 6 Rwandans, especially young people, as they suffer from 1 or more mental health disorders. A clear example is Axel, our co-founder, a victim of transgenerational trauma caused by the aftermath of the genocide. And just like him, over 3 million Rwandans battle every day with their mental health. And what makes it worse is that there is inadequate access to mental health services in Rwanda. A proof of this inadequacy is that 90% of the mental health patients do not receive care after they are discharged. And this is due to the limited number of mental health professionals in Rwanda, which is leading to an increase in costs for mental health services, thus limiting the number of people accessing those services. But to solve this problem, we have partnered with 2 universities and a mental health initiative that have helped us build, test launched, and piloted a mobile application, mental well-being relaxation room, and wellness outreach programs at universities. Health journey with the help of mental health professionals. Our application allows users to test their anxiety, depression, stress, and alcohol levels. It also gives them access to games and music to boost their mood after test results and before recommending consultation. Most importantly, it gives users access to emergency mental health contacts in Rwanda. The relaxation room is made up of game boards, cool lights and sounds that allow students to recharge, reset, and boost their mental well-being. Rwanda's mental health market is currently valued at $6 million. And this is made up of 3 million patients, including students from 34 universities, which is why in 2 years, we hope to serve at least 30,000 people, including youth from 3 universities and adults keen on improving their mental health. This will see us capture at least $61,000 in 2 years. To achieve this target, we are using the business-to-business model by going directly to universities, encouraging them to subscribe to our monthly relaxation services, which will see their students get free access to our app and free monthly wellness programs at their universities. We are also going directly to mental health-related organizations, encouraging them to refer their audience to our application. And after gaining attention with this model, we are going directly to the customers. We are still negotiating the price for the premium subscription for patients and mental health professionals on the app. But the most affordable we have presented so far are $7 a month for the patients, and $15 a month for the mental health professionals, and $500 a month for the relaxation room service. However, the relaxation room service price might increase to $1,000 per month based on the services we will be offering. The 3 main players in Rwanda's mental health space are solving the issue of mental health for upper-class people, whilst we are solving the same issue for people that can't afford the available mental health services. Our journey to this point started half a year ago, when we interviewed healthcare facilities and providers. Their insights helped us identify the problem of inadequate access to mental health services. This problem inspired our team to forge partnership with mental health professionals, universities, and mental health initiatives that have helped us develop our MVP, pilot our wellness relaxation room projects, and test launch our mobile application. So far, we are proud to let you know that we have 1 wellness relaxation room pilot customer and 1 in negotiation. We have also engaged over 50 users on our app and the relaxation room space at the pilot university. This achievement was made possible by our team of 4 mental health professionals, business development experts, and 4 mental health champions. And together, we are asking for a sum of $50,000. $10,000 will be used to improve our app and establish 2 more relaxation rooms and license our products. The $40,000 will be used to scale our operations through marketing and monthly wellness programs at the different universities in Rwanda. As explained on our business model slide, the most affordable monthly pricing options we have presented so far to the mental health professionals and universities we are working with are $500 a month for the relaxation room service, $7 a month for patients, and $15 a month for the mental health professionals. And based on this pricing, your investment of $50,000 will help us generate a total revenue of $80,000. And after business expenses, we will accumulate a total profit of $59,800 in 2 years. Additionally, we have identified potential funding sources to support our ask aside from Fishbowl. To show how far we have come, kindly listen to what our users of our application and the wellness relaxation room service have to say.
I actually check your app and it's really good. But there are a couple of things you actually need to change to actually improve the user experience and all that. And the very first thing is about the layout of the app. So some of the cards are not well designed. And the last thing is resources for you, right? You need to design better, cards and all that. Because right now, the text here, we have the same text at the bottom. We have secret to long, secret to a long, secret to a long. I think we need to prepare something great for them. Yeah, that's all. Thank you very much.
Okay, so one thing I like about the app is how visually appealing the app is. You could see that calmness, you could see how it portrays what we are actually trying to solve, which is like the mental health of youth and people in the society. So I feel, yes, that is like a good job.
So the things that I like about this relaxation room, first thing is privacy. The second thing is, this is a quiet place. Of course, it's in the learning commons. So when I'm here, I get to be in a quiet space where I can just focus on my things without any disturbance.
Two things I think can be added to improve the quality of service the room offers to its users. One can be pre-sketched pad. Those are pads that already have like sketches of drawings so that people could just sit down and color. It is very relaxing and quite therapeutic.
Our next step includes adopting virtual reality simulation for mental health consultation. And this will see users access mental health services with little help from mental health professionals before expanding and implementing the wellness relaxation room to the general public. Everybody on this call, if possible, please on your camera and raise a hand before we go to the next slide. Distinguished judges and everyone raising a hand, it is important for you to know that our motive for solving this issue is not only based on passion, but it is based on research. We have lived through mental illness and we are still living through mental illness. And due to the fact that we couldn't afford the available mental health services, we developed self-coping mechanisms that help us build resilience in our mental health journey. Examples of these mechanisms are narrating our feelings on our walls, reading mental health books, practicing self-care, writing songs, and even poems. These mechanisms have been tested and approved by the mental health professionals we are working with, which is why we have digitized these coping mechanisms and added more to it on our application for people fighting mental health battles on a daily basis. These strategies aim to build mental health resilience and provide users with affordable access to mental health services. As your hand is up right now, don't put it down if you have experienced stress, anxiety, or even depression, and you didn't receive adequate or any care at all. I guess most hands are still up, which shows a clear need for a solution. And this is why we are encouraging you to support us with a grand prize as we embark on this transformational journey of providing adequate access to mental health services in Africa through personalized guidance. Thank you very much for your attention. In case you want us to play any video, you let us know. So far, any question?
You were right on time, team. Well done. That was an excellent presentation. I'll hand it off to the judges now for their questions. Clinton, Katie, and Tom, you're up.
I'm happy to kick it off. First of all, thank you so much for this well done presentation. Obviously, a super important topic that needs more attention and more solutions in the market. You also did a great job, kind of showing some early user feedback and what the market and the monetization can look like. I have, in the interest of time, maybe just two questions, and if we have more, can come back to more. The first one is about existing competition. There's obviously already a lot of apps out there like Calm and others. How are you differentiated to those that already exist in the market?
Okay, Axel, you can take that question.
Thank you so much. So the main existing competitors in the field are mainly Solid Mind. So what they do is they're targeting the corporate, the people working in the corporate organizations. So like it's the highest end of the financial class. And the mHub, they're working with like workers, like these are other companies, like enterprises, and these are like the usually workers. So these are also like some of the people we expect to be in a more advanced financial class. So these ones do not include like the ones within the lower socioeconomic class, and the majority of the Rwandan people are living under like in the lower socioeconomic class, which leave them behind. When you go to left stand, so what they do mental health, but also generally wellness. So this makes them diverted, and they cannot like satisfy the most needs of the mental health of the general population.
Excellent, thank you. I'll let my two other fellow judges go first, and if there's time, I have more questions. Thank you for that.
Yes, yeah, really great presentation. I have one key question mainly around the pricing. I wouldn't say I know that much about Rwanda, but if this was Kenya, like $7 per month would not be like a price for the masses, right? So I'm just trying to understand how you arrived at that figure of the $7 a month. And just maybe to reiterate, it felt during the presentation you said you were targeting mainly like the base of the pyramid and the masses. Maybe that's different, but yeah, just maybe clarify that and how that relates to the price.
Okay, so Gabriel, can you go on that?
Okay, thank you very much. During our discussion, during the research, we tried to know the price point that they're comfortable with, and that is why we arrived at that point. And because of the population level we're working with, we are expecting that people that actually use our app will be able to get enough points. So when they get points, that will subsidize the subscription fee for the consultations they will have. So at the end of the day, because like 25% of your consultation fee can be carried by the by that using of points, and also too because in Rwanda there's a very robust health insurance program. So that's another thing we are exploring, which we're trying to see how we can work with government so that even governments can help to support, because mental health is part of the health insurance benefit people should enjoy, but there isn't access. So we come in there to facilitate the whole access, and then governments can also subsidize in that regard.
So in addition to that, these are the prices that we have presented to the mental health professionals and the universities that we are working with. We are still negotiating the price for like, well, what's our final point, you understand? So these are the most affordable we have presented to them. However, as I stated earlier on, and these prices are also liable to increase and decrease. And as Gabriel mentioned, these prices are also being subsidized for the feature we have on our application, wherein a user gain points for free consultation. So let's say if you gain a certain point, you have the right to book any mental health professional, and then you just present your point to them, you access free consultation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you again for the presentation. It's great to see, the feedback from users that you already have identified, partnerships with universities, and are getting an MVP out there and having people test it. I think that's incredible progress. I think one of my questions is around the scalability of kind of your plan to sell to the universities. So I know from personal experience, like selling to large institutions, they sometimes have different requirements. Each of them want something different for their students. So I was curious, first, have you, from talking to the universities that you're piloting with, have you felt like they each kind of had unique requirements that they wanted for their students? And second, how many universities in Rwanda have you identified as potential candidates for paying for the app? Okay, so for the unique requirements for the different universities, there is no specific requirements they have. However, like, as a student in Rwanda, I have an insurance that gives me access, like they are paying for my mental health services. But since no requirements from the university. So for the universities that we are working with now, like the piloting phase, we've identified 34 universities. But for now, we are working with 2. The one we're still in negotiation, and then the one we are in the piloting phase with them. So after that, we also stated in the presentation that for 2 years, we are only targeting 3 universities. So the feedback we'll be getting from those 3 universities added to the 2 we already have, that's 5, that will see us launch now for the next 29. You're muted if you're speaking. No, I just said thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you, Tom.
Vanessa, do we have time for one more question? How are we doing
You're doing great on time. You definitely have time for a couple more.
Awesome. Yeah, my next question, thank you. This is all super helpful. And again, well researched, and you're definitely understanding the topic and the underlying business well. Can you speak a little bit more about evidence of success that you've seen from your early users, that the content and the functionality of the app actually works, and stuff that actually does help them improve their mental health? Have you had any indications yet? Or if you haven't, how do you plan to measure that, the ultimate impact on the well-being?
Yeah, we definitely have successful indicators. Like, for example, when during the testing phase, we are able to access, like, do a mental health test. Let me go to the video. Like, the anxiety, depression, and then you can automatically see the results. And I know that it's on a test phase, and some of the functions are not working. But so far, the ones that are working, it's really good. For example, I can do an So this video is showing, like, the user doing an anxiety test and the test score that you're seeing here. And after the test score, you would automatically get a recommendation. Say, based on this particular results, okay, book an appointment. Your anxiety level is high, in case you want to talk to a mental health professional. When you click book an appointment, we currently have 2 mental health professionals on the app. When you click book an appointment, you can access these 2 mental health professionals, their availability and all. You understand? However, we're unable to capture the different results from the different students. Let's say what amount of anxiety, what amount of students have high anxiety level, what amount of user have high stress levels. We are unable to note that down because it was a mass testing. So we didn't focus on these specific things, like the number of people with high anxiety, the number of people with high stress and all. But we did get the indicators, like people were able to test the anxiety, their stress level, and even alcohol level as well.
Okay, just to add to that, in terms of recruiting people to the wellness center, right? So it was pretty easy for us because the first set of people we got to come and use the center, they were the ones inviting more students to come. Wow, I used this yesterday. I felt so good. I like this and all that. So that's some sort of impact for, because we were able to see some sort of referrals to meet our target, even by the beneficiaries themselves for the pilot phase, and even from the mental health professionals. When they look at the app, they were really impressed. And then the mental health professional that is actually doing working with us with the pilot, she's able to see more people than she used to see when there was no app interface. Thank you.
If we have time for another question, Fawn and I'd love to follow up on that.
For it, Katie.
Awesome. Yeah, so it's cool that, students can assess their mental health and then book an appointment right through the app. You mentioned that many mental health services are too costly for many people who need them. Maybe you already mentioned this, but is it a discounted rate that students get from booking through the app, or how does that work?
A very good question. So for the students, that's why our model is B2B. So we are going directly to these universities. Now, these universities are subscribing to our wellness relaxation room service. Engage with the resources, and every month. What?
Go ahead. You froze for a few seconds back there, but go ahead. We can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, so as I was saying, like when the university subscribes to our wellness relaxation room service, their students have free access to the application. Like students with their email have free access to the application. Yeah. And they have access to all the resources. And every month we will be organizing monthly wellness programs. And during these programs, we'll be inviting 1 mental health professionals from our partners to lead these activities, like these mental health programs. So the universities are the ones paying. They are only paying for the relaxation room service, while their students have access to both the relaxation room service and the app, and also the monthly wellness programs that we'll be executing.
Okay, just to add to that. So we realize that, okay, we are a startup, right? So how do we really capture the market? So that's why we're going B2B first. So at least we negotiate with the universities, because obviously everyone in Rwanda is aware of the problem. So there's some sort of budget that they really have for mental health, but there isn't enough mental health professionals. So we are coming in with a strategy, right? So they already have the budgets, and then so when they subscribe to our program, students get our app free of charge to use. So that's like so that makes it easy for students to use. So instead of some sort of a discount in that regard, so students are not really paying because it's a low income country. So thank you.
And the resources that the students have access to through the app, what is your plan for making sure that those are, medically reliable and accurate, and also continuously updating the content so the students have reason to come back?
Yeah, that's why we are working with mental health professionals to ensure that the contents on the application are reliable. And aside from the mental health professionals we are currently working with, we're also working with members from the Rwanda Medical Board, like the RBC, Rwanda Biomedical Board, that are helping us like moving this whole thing. And now in terms of iterating, that's why we are heavy on feedback. Doing this mass testing, the first thing we didn't more focus on the people, like let's say they are just using the app. We were more focused on what feedback are we getting from them. Like for example, one of the users mentioned that there are some designs we need to change about the layout. You understand? So that's why we keep using it every day. You use the app every day. Then in case you have any suggestion you think this application needs to be making, or they have in survey pop-up, do you have a recommendation that you think we can use to improve the application to make it more friendly or more accommodating for you? So we'll be having those survey pop-up, and then those pop-up, students can just answer a few questions and submit. Yes, Gabriel, you want to say something?
Because just to add to that, right? So we have some strategic partnership we've made. For example, people that will be like ambassadors to kind of champion this on their campus will be trained by established organization that we already partner with called JELA. So JELA Development. So we already have a very strong partnership in that regard. So they are not just only into mental health; they are also into training. So they really understand the module development in that regard, so that our champions are representing us very well. In terms of the resources on the app, we already have people from the Rwandan context who are mental health professionals that are already working with us. So when we want to develop, maybe bring a new feature, or maybe upgrade our app and all, they are totally in development. So we already have those discussions, because we understand that this is although we have the population level of mental health screening and treatment and all, we also have the clinical level, which you have to really, really be very careful of. So we totally understand the nitty-gritty, for development at the professional level. So thank you for that question.
Great. We have a minute for one last quick question, if anyone would like to ask the team something.
Yes, one quick question around the payment. I think you just a follow up on you mentioned something about insurance. When you say insurance can pay for some of this, is that private insurance or is that public insurance that you're talking about?
Gabriel, you want to go on that?
Okay, so Rwanda has there's this categorization. I believe Axel will also add something to this. So there's this categorization for health insurance in Rwanda, whereby you if you're going for maybe the general consultation at any healthcare center, there's an amount, there's a percentage that is covered by government. So that is there. So there's already an established robust system that we are just going to key into.
Yes, Axel, can you add on that?
Something to add is like the insurance budget is, it's divided into categories. Like, is it like general illness? Is it like dental illness? And there's also a section for mental health. But because of like the inaccess to mental health providers, most of the people don't get a chance to use like those services, and therefore like the money for the insurance does not get to be spent on those care. So that's why we want to bridge that gap and help the patient get the right care, and also like use the cost effective.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you too.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Tech.
Thank you too.
Thank you all. Great presentation.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Team Banana Bliss. And just to help everyone plan your time, we'll go through Team Banana Bliss and Birth Ease, and then we'll take a very short break. So with that, Team Banana Bliss, floor is yours. Team, is someone ready to present?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Hope you can hear me very well.
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm starting with a video.
I see the logo on, but we don't see the video or hear anything yet.
Okay, the video is starting. Hope you can hear everything.
We don't.
To act as an alternative to the expensive wheat. Over 40,000 tons of bananas face post-harvest losses in Zungu district. And here, these bananas can be processed wheat, which has made 6 out of 10.
Judges, are you experiencing some patchiness with the video? I know I am. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
Anthony, unfortunately, we can't seem to. The audio in the video is phasing in and out. We can see the video, but the audio is phasing in and out. Anthony, I'm not sure if you can hear me. We are able to see the video, we're not able to hear it. Is someone else on Team Banana Bliss able to share the video?
Bliss and the wheat flow. That's what increase price of wheat. That's the only solution in the front. Mix this one. Press from 3 to 3 sack of banana bliss, 1 sack of wheat potato. And from that, you get something. Usually, before use the method wheat flow only, and things will not break on that. Once but now, when it's not, that's why I see. You get something. So thanks for banana bliss. Thanks to the product bliss that found some people in lesson. Let's get something and to make our business run. So thank you very much for trying us.
Hello, everyone. Hope you can still hear me. We are going to the actual presentation now.
I'm unable to hear anything. I don't know if anyone else can.
No, I can't
Yes,
hear
same here.
either. Anthony, your PowerPoint slideshow is blank right now.
And we can't hear you.
Is there someone else on the team who's able to share the presentation or the slides?
Yes, I'm going to share the presentation.
We also have access to the presentation, and so we could share, and you just follow up, like tell us to skip slides if you.
Okay, we see the presentation now. And Anthony, like Mubarak mentioned, in case you were able to hear him, we can run the slides for you if that's easier. We're actually at your 3-minute reminder mark, but I'll give you an additional 2 minutes and we'll take time away from the Q&A section.
Yeah, I've also just gone on to share my screen, so I'm currently running the slides. If you're able to speak, let me know, and then I'll just skip accordingly.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Okay, let Mubarak help me share the slide. My laptop has frozen.
Right.
So the slides are being shared. Can you see?
Slide one, slide number one. Okay, kindly go to slide number one. Okay, hello everyone. I'm called Mungrek Anthony. We are Banana Bliss Uganda, and our tagline is "Test Me Now." Next slide. Why Banana Bliss Uganda? I'd love you to meet my friend Anirudh Silvia. She's 22 years old. She had to make a tough decision of closing her bakery due to the high prices of imported wheat, which made her to make losses instead of profits, and yet she's the breadwinner of her family. Next slide. According to Zumbu District Local Government, 6 out of 10 businesses have closed due to the high prices of imported wheat, which has been worsened by the Russia and the Ukraine war. And yet, we have over 40,000 tons of bananas being wasted yearly, making each farmer to lose up to $300 a year. The graph beside shows the decline in Uganda's importation of wheat from Russia. Dear judges, these bananas can act as an alternative to the expensive wheat flour. Next slide. This is where Banana Bliss Uganda comes in to process the bananas into high quality and cost-effective banana flour, reduce post-harvest losses for raw farmers, create a sustainable market for banana farmers, and provide an affordable gluten-free healthy alternative to the expensive wheat flour. The process we go through, we buy the bananas from the farmers, peel them, dry, grind, and our product is ready for packaging. Next slide. So what makes our product unique? Our product is of high quality, affordable, and gluten-free banana flour, which means it does not cause obesity. It's rich in vitamins and minerals like vitamin C and B6. It has a low glycemic index, which means it does not cause bloating. And our product is ready-made. Next slide. Who are our clients? Dear judges, initially our product only targeted the bakeries, but we realized it has a lot of potentials. That's why the household, supermarkets, institutions like schools and universities have joined us. We reach them through direct selling, online marketing like website and WhatsApp, advertisement over the local radios. Next slide. For our market opportunity, Zombo District, which is our serviceable obtainable market, giving us 26.8 million US dollars. Northern Uganda, which is our serviceable addressable market, giving us 64 million US dollars. And our total addressable market, which is the entire Uganda, giving us 340 million US dollars. Next slide. How do we sustain our venture? For every 25 kilograms of banana flour produced, we incur 10 US dollars. This gives us a total unit cost of 0.6 US dollars. We sell our banana flour at 1 kg, 1 kilogram of banana flour at 1 US dollars, and this gives us a profit margin of 41%, which we invest back into the business. Next slide. We have, next slide, please. You have skipped a slide. We have both primary and secondary competitors. However, our venture is unique in a way that we add value to bananas. They are of high quality, affordable, and very accessible. Next slide. Our success so far, between 2021 and 2022, we carried community engagement, and so far we have 50 registered farmers. We carried out market research, and in 2023, we employed 5 youth. In July 2023, we began our first production of 500 kilograms of banana flour and recorded 100% sales. Next slide. Our team consists of Mungriek Anthony, who is the community engagement member of Banana Bliss Uganda. I studied business administration and currently I have a certificate in community psychology. Jamaldino Lasupo, who is our information technologist. He's a software engineer, and this gives him the skill to manage our venture. Muhammad Kiromi is our finance and marketing lead. He did business administration, and currently he's working as a sales specialist. Nefta Impano, who is our production lead, has been working with Farmers Association that process sweet potatoes into chips, and he has the advantage to take us ahead. Next slide. Our budget request 1, which is for MVP improvement, we are currently requesting for 4,300 US dollars, which will be used for product development, marketing and branding, and increase our production to 2,000 kilograms a month. Next slide. Our budget request 2, which is for the next 12 to 24 months, is 28,000 US dollars, which will be used for total capital cost and total operational cost. Next slide. By the end of third year, we project that our sales would have reached 20,000 US dollars. Next slide. Next slide, please. Our anticipated impact is to provide ready market to 250 farmers, which will increase their income by 300 US dollars, reduce banana waste by 20%, create more employment opportunities, provide food security, and skill 10 youth. Next slide. Our roadmap, by the end of this month, we anticipate to finish construction and registration of our company, purchase equipment and get certification in the Uganda National Bureau of Standards in September. In December this year, create more employment opportunities. In December next year, we anticipate to increase our production up to 4,000 kilograms a month. And in 2026, launch our product in Nigeria, Rwanda, or Sierra Leone. Next slide. As you can see, we are carrying out the production of our banana flour, and on the other side, we are marketing our product. Dear judges, the demand for our product is high, but the production is low. Next slide. We kindly ask you to join hands with us in creating a positive impact on the community of Zombo District, Uganda, and the world at large through Banana Bliss Uganda. We shall not give a rest until we see the change we want. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony, and thank you for powering through those technical challenges there. Judges, we have a little room in our schedule, so we can still do 12 to 13 minutes of questions. So please go ahead.
I can go first. First, thank you so much, and great recovery. Thank you so much for that. Quick question is on on where you're sourcing this banana from and what the opportunity cost is. So if these farmers are not selling the bananas to you, who will they be selling it to and at what price? What is the price differential if they were selling it somewhere else?
Okay, thank you so much for that wonderful question. So far, from where we are sourcing our bananas, before going to a farmer, so that we start buying the bananas from him or her, we have the Zombo District Association of Banana Farmers. So we reach the farmers through that association. And so far, we have 50 registered farmers who sell their bananas to us. And when it comes to the prices, they were really other buyers before us coming in. They were offering the farmers little prices. For example, a bunch of banana, which is currently in other parts of Uganda, like central Uganda, being sold at 20,000 Ugandan shillings, they buy it at only 7,000 Ugandan shillings, making the farmers really not to get a lot from their bananas.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. So just to make sure I got that right. Sorry. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, also, I would like to add that if the farmers were not selling their bananas to us due to the perishable nature of the bananas, within a few days, most of the bananas would have been wasted because, especially during the rainy season, it's difficult for those who normally buy bananas from them to get into Zombo district to buy bananas. So that also helps them to not incur losses if those bananas would otherwise go to waste.
Got you. Okay. Thank you. For one more follow-up question, how much would they be buying 1 kg of wheat flour?
Okay, right now, wheat flour, they package it in 2 kilograms. It comes in a package of 2 kilograms and it's sold at 2.5 US dollars, which means a kilogram of wheat is at 1.25 US dollars. But it's very inaccessible to people in rural areas. Reason being, most of the wheat flour, due to the scarcity, it's always stopped in central Uganda, and it becomes very hard for people in rural areas to access it, and which further increases even the prices of wheat when it reaches the rural places.
Could I just clarify the response? So 2 kilograms of wheat flour is like 1 kilogram is $1.5. And what is 1 kilogram of banana flour? Can you just give me direct comparison between the prices?
Okay, now we say 1 kilogram of wheat right now it's at 2.5 US dollars,
Okay.
and for banana flour is at 1 US dollar.
Okay, so it's half, or like less, like 40% of it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Could I ask a follow on questions? So first of all, thank you for that presentation and for not letting yourself get tripped up by the technical challenge in the beginning. It was well done and very comprehensive, and really, really enjoyed it. My question is a very simple one about the taste and the usability of a banana flour over other flours. If I make the same recipe, I make bread or I make desserts or anything else, will it taste differently or will it be different for the user to work with?
Okay, concerning the taste, it depends on what you are going to make to use the banana flour for. As I said before, initially, our product targeted only the bakeries, but later we realized it has a lot of potentials. That's why nowadays it's used for making porridge, and it's also used for making our local food called matoke. But when you are using it for making bakery products like donuts and bread, we use it in the ratio of 3:1. You get 3 kilograms of banana flour and mix it with 1 kilogram of wheat flour, and it makes a perfect dough. And the taste is just the same.
Oh, it's the same. Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you again, team, for the presentation. and always exciting to see that you have customers who have used the flower and have positive things to say about it. So great work so far. I have two questions. So the first one, I just wanted to clarify, did you say that your addressable market in Zombo district was 26 million USD per year? I just wanted to confirm that.
Oh yes, yes. Our serviceable obtainable market, which is consisting of only Zombo district, is 26 million US dollars.
Okay, and so I just was curious about, because then I think you said that the sales at the end of your third year, you were targeting $20,000, 20,000 US dollars. So I was curious why that number seems fairly low compared to what you're saying is the serviceable market just in the one district, because I know you also had on your roadmap expansion to other countries, etc.
Oh yes, that's a very wonderful question, by the way. So, yeah, I was not surprised when you told me that it's confusing. Reason being, like the 26 million US dollars is currently the total market. Okay, like the total market we have in Zombo district, what we can get, it's the total market. By then, we not everyone, not all these 26 million US dollars will be achieved within the first 3 years. Let's see, it's not all will be achieved. That's why we projected that by the end of the third year, our financial projection will be the sales will be 20,000 US dollars, because we are not going to achieve everything in the 3 years. By the time we go to the 4th or 5 years, the sales will increase, and also we shall end up also getting that the market will also be increasing, because many people will be interested in our product and they'll be like, wow, how can we use this thing? How can we use it like this? So that's how we came up with the figures.
Got it. Thank you. And then I was curious, I know that you had to go fairly quickly through the slides, and great job powering through them. It was very informative in a short period of time. But I wanted to ask, since you've obviously been selling some of your initial production batch, have customers, were those customers willing to pay the $1 per kg? And I think you went pretty quickly past the slide with the margin breakdown, but what was the margin on that first this first batch that you produced?
Okay, thank you so much. We began our production last year in July 2023. And really, one of the challenges I can tell you we faced when we began was customer acceptance of our product. But then later, we were able to convince them of the benefits they're going to get from the product compared to the wheat flour. And many of them really accepted our product, and at the same price we told them, that is the $1. We went to schools, and I can tell you that so far right now, we have 2 schools. We are working in partnership, and we are supplying them with our banana flour. We have a supermarket whom we supply also with our banana flour right now, and also 2 bakeries so far.
Awesome. Katie, did you have a follow-up question to this?
Well, I just wanted to confirm, I didn't hear you. I think you answered part of the question, but I wanted to confirm, what was the margin on that first run of flour?
Well, basically, how much profit did you make on that sale?
Okay, when we sold the first batch, which is we produced 500 kilograms of banana flour in July last year. And really, we made a very good profit, though though now we made a very good profit of $200 in that very month.
So of the 500 kilo, you made $200 of profit. Did I get that right?
Yes, we made $200 as a profit.
Judges, we can do one more quick question and then we'll wrap up.
I can ask maybe some, what are some of the challenges you foresee on the scalability of sort of producing more? Will that be challenging or not? What have you encountered, given that none of you have really produced large amounts of flour in the past, how you will be able to scale that? And what challenges do you think the scaling of an operation like that could result in?
Okay, thank you so much. For the first challenge, I can assure you we are facing right now, and we also anticipate it to go in the future, because when we start advancing to other parts of Uganda, is the customer acceptance of our product. But how are we overcoming this challenge? We are overcoming it through carrying out rapid advertising benefit from the product, given the fact that it's also of low prices compared to others. Then also the next challenge we face is logistics, and it's also going to happen in the future, which is about the transportation of our product. That is consisting of the raw materials and the finished product. Right now, I can tell you, Zombo district really has very bad roads. And in rainy season, we face a lot of challenges. Sourcing the bananas and taking them to our production facility is really very hard, and also distributing our products. But how are we overcoming this challenge? We entered partnership with the other, delivering their products to their customers. So when they are coming back, we be in contact with them, and if they are passing where we are sourcing our bananas from, they help us carry our bananas to our facilities. And that is the same way they also help to deliver our product.
Okay, great.
I think my
in
other team members.
In addition to what Anton said about the scalability challenges, we aim to see what others have done through processing of other materials and learn from them. We hope that through collaboration, we can achieve to a high quality product and achieve better results. Thank you.
Lastly, I know the judges might be wondering that how can you be dealing in processing of food and maybe you don't have a nutritionist or someone who studied food production? Dear judges, I can tell you, we are right now working on a collaboration with Makerere University Department of Food and Science. And when our production facility, right now our production facility is under construction, but when it's done, by the end of this month, we would have finished part of it. When it's done, the Department of Food and Science in Makerere University, they are willing to give us one of their lecturers and also their students to be coming for internship at our production facility. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Team Banana Bliss. With that, we should move to our third team of the day, which is birthies. Judges, you get a 5-minute break after this team. So we'll hand off to Team Birthies. Thank you, Team Banana Bliss. And Birthies, we're looking forward to hearing from you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Bandana. Good day, everyone. I'm Bilkis from Birthies, and I'm here to draw your attention to a challenge facing marginalized communities in Africa. There's a disproportionately high rate of maternal mortality. In Nigeria alone, a woman's lifetime risk of dying from pregnancy or childbirth-related causes is 1 in 22. Let's compare this to 1 in 4,900 in developed countries. This statistic is even more disheartening when we zoom into rural Nigeria. And from our research, we can confidently say that this situation is largely due to limited predictive measures to determine who is at high risk of complications, a significant knowledge gap about the possibilities of complications, and structural inefficiencies to actually undo complications if or when they do occur. Obina, Jeremiah, and I, with the help of many others, have created Birth Ease. This is a solution designed to hit on each of the problems I highlighted. Birth Ease has developed an algorithm built on the foundation of scientific research to assess the risk of a pregnant woman being a victim of maternal mortality. Our platform also allows for proactive monitoring and support of high-risk mothers. And to clarify, all of this is done very easily and accessibly through either toll-free calls, toll-free messages, or even WhatsApp. This solves the first problem. In the process, we create more awareness and build knowledge of this amongst pregnant women, solving problem number 2. And lastly, and maybe even most importantly, we help optimize limited healthcare infrastructure through partnerships. So we all know that even if the first 2 problems were solved, rural communities may still face issues such as long distances from a proper hospital or financial strain to cover medical expenses. Birth Ease uses the power of partnerships to address this by providing logistical support and health insurance coverage to ensure that access to care is facilitated. We plan on launching Birth Ease in Nigeria and Zambia. And technically, the 8.8 million pregnant women in Nigeria and Zambia per year can use Birth Ease. But our mission is to target the 4.2 million of these women who live in rural communities. But we understand that given the nature of the fragmented market and highly regulated market, our attainable market will be limited to reach only 200,000 women. The increasing global focus on maternal mortality in rural areas increases our potential for efficient partnerships. And also, the market trends of increasing mobile devices and WhatsApp penetration make our solution more accessible than ever for our target population. But to be clear, even the percentage of women who do not have access to mobile devices will still be reached through fiscal outreaches. Birth Ease will be a profit-making venture, but we learned through our customer insight research that pregnancy-related costs are often a burden to many women. So we've been very careful to make sure that the burden of payment is low or non-existent to our customers. The risk assessment and educational part of Birth Ease will be entirely free, but we offer women more support, such as access to services that facilitate healthcare, as well as financial protection in case of complications, through an insurance model at a total price of $8 per pregnant woman. And again, to remove the burden of paying from Birth Ease mothers, we will monetize anonymized data to health insurance companies as well as research institutions. So in the long term, the goal is to have a sustainable framework where the insurance companies provide coverage to Birth Ease mothers. And since the mothers use our predictive tool and monitoring platforms, their health data will be anonymized and provided to the insurance companies who need this type of data for risk modeling.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah from Birth Ease, and to achieve all that we have mentioned, we will utilize all of the people who influence the health behaviors of pregnant women. So that includes healthcare providers, community centers, traditional birthers, and so on as points of contact. During our early years, we will have more on-the-ground physical outreaches because we believe it is important to help us connect and better understand how Birth Ease best fits in within our target locations. In addition to physical outreaches, we will market Birth Ease through educational campaigns and our strategic partnerships. We have many potential competitors who intend to help supplement hospital visits and be a platform where expecting and new mothers can get maternal health information. However, most of them use software platforms, and this ends up excluding the population of women who are at high risk of complications. Meanwhile, we offer platforms that are not dependent on the internet. We also know that each woman's situation is unique. So we aim to use AI to create smart messaging that provides more targeted information for each woman so that we can address her own unique needs. Also, our many partnerships will help us address the larger systemic problems that customers of the other organizations may still face. We've already made significant progress. We started from a strong passion to solve the problem of maternal mortality resulting from postpartum hemorrhaging, also known as PPH, which is the excessive bleeding of a woman during or after childbirth. And after doing a lot of research by ourselves, we came up with 3 tiers of solutions. But then, after talking to expectant mothers who are potential Birth Ease mothers and maternal healthcare providers who have significant experience, we shifted our focus a little bit. We moved from predicting PPH specifically, since it requires clinical details such as placenta position, magnesium levels, and so on, which we know that a pregnant woman may not have readily available, We learned that a better approach is to build a prediction tool for maternal mortality that still covers risks for PPH, but uses simpler questions that a woman can easily answer. Recently, we've started moving on to the execution stage. Like we have already emphasized, Birth is foundation is in partnerships such as Riders for Health, My Belly, and Hasey, which provide access to healthcare in remote areas, educational materials on maternal health, and birthing kits for pregnant women. We have successfully secured partnerships with one local health center and are about to secure a partnership with another government maternal health care center to have a seamless integration between our birthers women and access to these healthcare facilities. The partnership currently serves as a way to onboard potential birthers mothers.
Hi everyone, my name is Obina from BetEase. I and my team members bring together expertise in public health, community engagement, legal knowledge, and software development. But more importantly, we are all very committed to the mission of BetEase to prevent maternal mortality. We've also gotten technical support from Precious Hezekiah, our Fishbowl TTC, mentorship from Holly Suffield, our Fishbowl mentor, and guidance from OBGYNs from the University of Ibadan, who are helping to make our solution at BetEase more feasible. We are seeking about $7,000 for our 4-month pilot program in Mbitoli local government area in Nigeria to develop and deploy our platform, onboard high-risk mothers, and support them through childbirth. This funding will cover everything from website development to fiscal outreaches and our core operational costs. But to fully launch BetEase and scale our operations, we require about $34,000. This will fund the improvement of our platforms, help us expand our user base and partnerships, and also enhance our operations based on user feedback. Our financial model predicts steady growth in both non-paying and paying users, and we expect our ARR to reach $14,000 by year 3. Within the first 5 years, we expect to be cash positive. For our funding strategy, we will be working hard to get grants and make good revenue. But we'll also consider debt financing and equity funding if we need. We're hoping that these sources will not only provide financial support, but also provide opportunities for strategic partnerships and expand our network. To give you a closer look at how the tech part of BetEase works, let's watch a short demo of a WhatsApp conversation between our WhatsApp bot and an expectant mother. This same bot will be used to check in with our BetEase mothers regularly until 2 months post-delivery. This demo shows how we get information from the pregnant woman, which is needed to access her risk of birth complications. Also, note that there will be a very similar version of this for the toll-free call and SMS platforms. You can also visit our website at betease.org to get a complete feel of all our offerings. Our demo captures a portion of our tech, which we will combine with our other services to reduce the chances of maternal mortality in Nigeria, Zambia, and the whole of Africa. Thank you very much to the Fishbowl team for this opportunity, and thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you so much, team, for the great presentation. Maybe I can start off with a first question. First, I think it's a really interesting idea that you have on the business model of monetizing the data versus, putting the majority of the burden to pay on the expectant mothers. I was curious if you've had any conversations with the insurance companies or been able to do any research to understand how much they would be willing to pay for this data and how much data you'd need to have for it to be something that you could monetize.
Okay, I'll answer this. So I think on that question, the extent of conversations we've had have been to the establishing that we have a risk model which they value, and to the extent to which we've had conversations with potential health insurance company, I think a mutual understanding is that if we're able to achieve this our risk assessment tool, it will definitely reduce the extent of risks in terms of insurance coverage for these companies. So we think that these companies are willing. The fact that we haven't gotten to very concrete agreements is due to the fact that they're still working our registration. But then I think there's like a consensus as to the value we have in our risk model, and their willingness to work with it.
And maybe just one quick follow-up on that registration process. What do you need to complete that registration, and how long are you anticipating that it will take?
Okay, registration of businesses is quite seamless here in Nigeria, which is going to run our pilot program. Registration of business will take us just within 2 to 3 weeks. Registration of businesses and registration of patents and trademarks as well is also quite seamless in the Nigerian system.
So maybe I can go next. So again, thank you for the presentation. Super important topic, and you know, you have a very broad approach to solving this, and you've been very thoughtful about many things, particularly also looking at your competition that's already out there. So that's much appreciated. Could you summarize real quick the type of services that you plan to offer initially, and then later over time, just so I have that 100% clear? What are the specific products that are included or services?
Okay, maybe I can respond to that. So basically, Birthies, other than the risk assessment for each pregnant woman, will be offering, through partnership with insurance companies, coverage of maternal health costs. And this means that in case or in terms of a complication arising during the term of pregnancy for a woman, the insurance company, in partnership with us, and the premium that women will be paying if they opt into the option, will be covered, will have the coverage from the insurance company to have those special cases addressed in the event that local healthcare institutions cannot actually address that. And other than that, we also have subsidized services, and we also offer maternal health information or education. So they get regular updates from their application. They get reminders of when to attend antenatal care and follow-up questions to check on how the pregnancy is coming along. So basically, we're offering monitoring and health coverage, as well as trying to partner with other services in order to cater for such things as logistics to and from a certain point. So I think other than just partnering with the insurance company, there might be a third party that would come in to help subsidize that cost from the point from which the woman stays to the healthcare facility.
Okay.
If I've missed anything, maybe a teammate can add on.
Could I maybe one quick follow-up questions on this? So what is sort of your role between the expecting mother and the insurance company? So you're basically in there, right? There's the end user, and then you're facilitating that connection to the insurance provider, who then pays the health service provider in case there is an emergency. Is that correct? And if that is correct, why does the insurance provider need you in the middle? Why don't they just go themselves and sell their service to the individual, to the expecting mother?
All right, so like my teammate earlier on highlighted, our predictive algorithm creates a certain perspective for the insurance company. So in how we've planned it out, our entire mission as Birth is to prevent cases of maternal mortality. But we do understand that there might be certain instances where we cannot address every aspect of it. So by partnering with the insurance company, they get access to the information that we collect as Birth is from health centers that's on board onto our platform, which will be called Birth is centers, with the women on board. And then with that information, the health insurance, the insurance company can leverage that information to sort of suit their profit-making venture, because we are running the risk assessment. We are providing that information, and we are trying to curb the instance of maternal mortality.
Thank you.
I can also add to that. So I guess one of the main things that Birth is focusing on is unlike other organizations that providing information or providing similar services to the general population. We're trying to focus on marginalized communities and rural communities who may otherwise not have access to proper insurance. So instead of them having to pay the cost of insurance, we are using, as Jeremiah and Lubina have mentioned, we're leveraging our own data collected through the journey of birth ease to help them purchase this insurance. But also, we know that other organizations that provide things like logistic support or just maternal information, maternal health information, do exist. We're trying to be like a center of these partnerships so that a woman can have access to all of these services. So, for instance, by partnering with Riders for Health and by Bele, we're able to provide a particular community both transport services as well as educational material that they may need, which might be hard for just one organization to do by themselves. But by us being like the central organization that is able to pull off these partnerships and like targets all these resources to the community, then it should be more efficient.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Great presentation. One question from me is regarding how does this fit in with the typical experience of going to like a doctor and a hospital? How does this? I'm just trying to understand the journey for a patient. Who introduces them to Bathis? Is it you? Is it their doctor? How does that work?
Maybe I can jump in for the first part. So basically, what we're trying to do is we understand that in a lot of rural, underserved communities, a lot of local clinics are understaffed and under-equipped. So in this instance, what we are trying to avoid is an instance whereby where we fit in is that we are bridging the gap, basically. So because a certain healthcare facility, and we're targeting primarily low resource areas, because once we get to a point whereby we reach those women and the people who are linking them, again, we're leveraging on partnerships. So the healthcare providers at that center onboard them onto our platform. So basically, we are selling birth ease to these women in those healthcare facilities because at some point in their pregnancy term, they do have to attend antenatal care. So our partnerships sell birth ease to these women and give them the benefits. And the benefits being the insurance coverage and facilitated travel and cost coverage to a more fully equipped healthcare facility. Maybe somebody else can jump in and add on.
In addition to that, understanding our demography of women who don't necessarily access as much quality in healthcare as the other demography, we think that we're also working with local midwives, which is also a predominant thing in our geographical locations. Local midwives and outreaches, also our outreaches, which will get to churches, marketplaces, civic unions. These are places in which we're going to be hoping to onboard these women from. And then once we have their information, once we have access to them, we can work with them through our automated systems, our automated calls, automated SMS messages, and for those available, automated WhatsApp messages as well. So at every point in time, a pregnant woman comes in contact with us, all we need is as basic as just their phone number, for example, and then everything can work from there.
Thank you.
Judges, we still have 3 minutes for questions. So if you have any other topics you'd like to cover, feel free to jump in.
I just really quickly wanted to confirm, where are each of the 3 members of the team based? I think I missed that.
So our first member, Omoyeni, is based in the US, Nigerian based in the US. Then we have Jeremiah, who is based in Zambia, and then myself, who is based here in Nigeria.
Great. Thank you.
Great. If there are no more questions, thank you, Team Birthies. That was a very comprehensive presentation, and you managed your time beautifully. So thank you for that. And we now break for 5 minutes. Feel free to walk away from your desk. We will run a video for those of you who still want to hang out at your computers. We have a video that shows one of our prior winning teams and the progress they've made since. So you're welcome to stay and watch the video during the break, but otherwise we will meet back in 5 minutes. To make it easy, we'll say 9:40 Pacific time, so it's actually more like 7 minutes, 9:40 Pacific time, which I know especially Clinton for you and the others dialing in from Eastern Africa time. We're tracking, I think you're almost 11 hours ahead of us at this point. So it's 40 minutes past the hour is when we regroup. Thank you. Mubarak, I can see the video of EcoFresh, but I can't hear it.
I joined a club called
Can you hear the sound?
It's a social group that brings together all societal problems. In Akumadan community.
Could we maybe restart that?
It was very detrimental to the people in the community. So I came back to campus.
Tomatoes no, your boy home day ye. Then we do sabrina. Na ya tie no, you will be fanfa. Because we hear say my ye be over here. Maybe but me tia at a phone and tonic bobo bia. And you do a so near the crown puna de gum. The bassa na man to snap pro.
Menso your friend me a queer Mary. Me frankma de French. Me entosi queenie. Mpanyefo me pamoto mwada Roma. Ye ntosi na ye nsusu nya tofo. Ye ntosi na timu bribu ro musa ye nya ba bia edibeku. Se me gina ntosi na me hwe me ma school. Na me ma me ma de kosua adwuma. Se me ntosi nyina aguafo me nya de am de betinti mwada Roma ye srem amomwa ye. Na mma ye ba bi na ye mfa ye ntosi mu.
My name is Matthias Charles Yabe. I'm the co-founder of AquaFresh. My entrepreneurship journey started in 2018 when I got enrolled in the university. I joined a club called Inactus. Inactus is a social group that brings together students to solve societal problems using entrepreneurship. So during my first trip with Inactus, exposed me to the issue of post-harvest losses in Akumadan community. This issue was very detrimental to the people in the community. So I came back to campus and I was really thinking about how I can leverage on technology to solve the issue of post-harvest losses. Joining Fishbowl Challenge last year was a game changer. I had the opportunity to be mentored by high-level senior executives who provided advice to support in building AquaFresh. With Fishbowl's mission to promote global collaboration, I had the opportunity to partner with Arena and Viveka, as co-founded from Finland and India. Arena contributed to the development of our products through her research into optimal storage temperatures. Juvika, on the other hand, has passion for environmental sustainability. She helped pioneer an environmental platform and is currently taking lead on drafting environmental strategies for the team. Winning the grand prize of Fishbowl Challenge gave me access to a $25,000 grant, which brought our project to life. The grant money was used to design manufacture and install our very first solar-powered cold storage preservation technology in our Kumadan community. Our solution is a mix of sustainable agriculture and renewable energy to improve livelihood and ensure ecosystem resiliency in local communities. This solution will help reduce the issue of post-harvest losses in Akumadan by 50% in the next 2 years, helping farmers increase their total seasonal income by over $1 million, boosting the local economy and improving livelihood among farmers.
Edamwasi, Apple Fresh for Edamwasi, Madam Roma. Obabri wa mesisa mu se mu maye ba bi enfa yento simwe. Se Madam Mama ye ba bi ayedigu. Kane na meti ada na ansa pepepe na se ne bi abe na wotwe mi no kura no. Entimu ye kama fefefe. Rade ne meda wasi mani agye. Se de mama ye ni agye pa Edamwasi.
After a successful operation of our technology in this very first community, we are looking at scaling to major marketplaces in Ghana, which will help us reach over 15,000 smallholder farmers and traders in the next 5 years.
Tomatoes no, your boy home day. Then we do Sabrina. Now ya tie no, you will be fanfa. Because we hear say my you be over here. Me ba beti but metia atofo no and tonic bobo bia. And do be so nya da kakra mpo na de gum. Nti basa na tomatoes na pro.
Menso ye frɛ me Akuya Mary. Me fra kuma da ye frantru. Me yentosi kuani. Mpanyefo me pamoto Roma. Ye yentosi na eye yie nsusu enya tofo. Ye yentosi na timu brigu romu sa ye nya ba bia edibegu. Se me gina he ntosi na me hwɛ me ma school. Na me ma me ma di kosua adwuma. Se me ntosi nyina gu afom. Me nya de am de beti nti Moda Roma ye srɛ mu amommo aye. Na momma ye ba bi na yemfa yentosi ni.
My name is Matthias Charles Yabe. I'm the co-founder of AquaFresh. My entrepreneurship journey started in 2018 when I got enrolled in the university. I joined a club called Inactus. Inactus is a social group that brings together students to solve societal problems using entrepreneurship. So during my first trip with Inactus, exposed me to the issue of post-harvest losses in a Kumadan community. This issue was very detrimental to the people in the community. So I came back to campus and I was really thinking about how I can leverage on technology to solve the issue of post-harvest losses. Joining Fishbowl Challenge last year was a game changer. I had the opportunity to be mentored by high-level senior executives who provided advice and support in building AquaFresh. With Fishbowl's mission to promote global collaboration, I had the opportunity to partner with Arena and Viveka as co-founders from Finland and India. Arena contributed to the development of our products through her research into optimal storage temperatures. Juvika, on the other hand, has passion for environmental sustainability. She helped pioneer an environmental platform and is currently taking lead on drafting environmental strategies for the team. Winning the grand prize of Fishbowl Challenge gave me access to a $25,000 grant, which brought our project to life. The grant money was used to design, manufacture, and install our very first solar-powered cold storage preservation technology in our Kumadan community. Our solution is a mix of sustainable agriculture and renewable energy to improve livelihood and ensure ecosystem resiliency in local communities. This solution will help reduce the issue of post-harvest losses in Akumadan by 50% in the next 2 years, helping farmers increase their total seasonal income by over $1 million, boosting the local economy and improving livelihood among farmers.
Edamwasi, Apple Fresh for Edamwasi, Madam Roma. Obabri wa mesisa mu se mu maye ba bi enfa yento simwe. Se Madam Mama ye ba bi ayedigu. Kane na meti ada na ansa pepepe na se ne bi abe na wotwe mi no kura no. Entimu ye kama fefefe. Rade ne meda wasi mani agye. Se de mama ye ni agye pa Edamwasi.
After a successful operation of our technology in this very first community, we are looking at scaling to major marketplaces in Ghana, which will help us reach over 15,000 smallholder farmers and traders in the next 5 years.
That is wonderful. Thank you for sharing that, Mubarak. I know every time we watch this video, it's been phenomenal for us to see how far Matthias and the team have come from the time they pitched to Fishbowl Challenge to actually having that prototype up and in use. And he has himself been at several global forums, including Davos and World Economic Forum, United Nations forums, to speak on his project so far. Same for our winner from a couple years ago, Lighted, based in Nigeria. I was invited to pitch at the World Bank event in Washington, D.C., where they have youth from around the world pitching social impact ideas. So it's been wonderful for us to see teams from past Fishbowl challenges continue this important work and just get exposure around the world. So we're sure that many of you will be doing the same. We look forward to supporting that. So with that, I see everyone is back and we're all ready to hear from you, Team Choco Fruit. So if you're on, just let me know and you can start your presentation whenever you're ready. Just a reminder that if you're not presenting today, right now for Team Choco Fruit, please go ahead and mute since we're hearing a lot of background noise at this point. Okay, who's presenting for Team Choco Fruit? I see Adeline on and not sure who else is.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Sorry, I thought it was Team Cocoa, but if they are not available, I can go ahead present for Team Choco Fruit.
Do you have all your presenters here? Because you're next in our line.
I think they are here.
Okay. If everybody's here, you can go ahead.
All right. Can you see my screen?
It's coming up. Yes, we can see the presentation now, and it's not in present mode yet, but we see the slides.
All right, let me present. Thank you. My name is Adeline Tetuabo. I'm going to present for Choco Fruit Solution team. I was born in a country where 80% are farmers and more than 95% are smallholder farmers. I recently visited Mary, and let me share with you a sad story of Mary. Mary is a
Adeline, we lost you there. You started off very clear, but we've lost your audio now. Adeline, unfortunately, we can't hear you yet.
We cooler. A charcoal cooler is a cooling technology that uses natural evaporative cooling. Hence, it is appropriate in remote areas where there is no electricity. It is a zero energy cold chain, and it positively contributes to climate change resilience. It is also made from locally available materials, unlike conventional cold chain. The average ambient temperature in the hottest areas of
Adeline, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we've lost your presentation. Would you like us to present? Okay, great. Mubarak is pulling up your slides and he can present for you.
All right.
Just give us a moment while the first slide comes up, and we'll give you an extra minute or two for your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, so if you can start again at the problem that you were presenting with Mary the farmer there, I think that'll be helpful. We lost your audio in the middle.
All right.
Mubarak, we're seeing your Zoom screen, not the, yeah, now we see the presentation. Thank you.
Hi, you can go to the next slide of the problem. Okay, great. I was sharing with you a story of Mary, who is a tomato farmer in Bugesera district. We recently visited her and found that she roasts more than a half of her produce. Not only Mary faces such challenge because according to FAO, tomato farmers in Rwanda and Bugesera lose 40 to 60% of their production. This causes major income and food security issues, and it has been reported that lack of affordable, sustainable cold chain storage facilities is the leading factor to post-harvest losses. Next slide. Next slide, please. And this is where charcoal fruit solution comes in. We are bringing a product on market. This is a charcoal cooler. A charcoal cooler is a cold chain facility that uses evaporative cooling cooling technology. Therefore, it is appropriate in remote areas where electricity is a challenge. It is also a zero energy cold chain, which positively contributes to climate change resilience. And according to the values of Meteor Rwanda, the average ambient temperature in hottest areas of Rwanda and Uganda can reach 22 and 26 degrees Celsius respectively. And according to a research conducted by Eric et al., the average, a well-designed charcoal cooler has potential to reduce the ambient temperature by 9 to 10 degrees Celsius. And this is the way a charcoal cooler can reduce the post-harvest loss. Next slide, please. It also requires low maintenance cost compared to other conventional cold chain. Our market opportunity, we have seen that for 40,000 plus metric tons of tomatoes are produced in Rwanda and Uganda, which is our target market. Smallholder farmers have no cold storage facilities, which is leading to the losses, and there is a rising demand of tomato consumption due to dietary habits. And our target customers are 6 cooperatives, 4 in Rwanda and 2 in Uganda. As you can see, we have 4 cooperatives in Rwanda, and our business model, we will be charging farmers a storage fees. And we have agreed, based on the survey we conducted, most of the farmers we interviewed were willing to pay some amount of money for storage facilities in case our product is at the market. We decided that 1% of the storage monetary value will be fair on both sides. And based on the current value of tomatoes in Rwanda and Uganda, we estimated that we will earn 557 US dollars per week. You might wonder why we decided to calculate our revenues per week, because if a charcoal cooler can increase the lifetime of a product by 10 to 15 days. So have direct sales to cooperatives mentioned before. Market strategies, we were able to collaborate with farmers cooperatives. We have so far negotiated with Kayonza. Bella Flowers, Bella Tomatoes is a tomato farming cooperative led by women. And our market channel, we will be using workshop, demo sites, and local radio and social media to make our product become known at the market. We will have direct sales. We will work with agents known as agro dealers in Rwanda. We are also planning to work with online sales, like there is an online sale negotiated with them, and they allowed market for our customers. Next slide. This is our competitive landscape. We compared our products to electric refrigerators and traditional storage. When we say traditional storage, we mean storing the produce at ambient temperature. According to Amazon, a refrigerator with capacity which can accommodate 520 kgs of tomatoes can cost 3,800 US dollars, but a charcoal cooler which can hold the same quantity of tomatoes can cost 795 US dollars. In terms of accessibility, our product is accessible because it is made from locally available raw materials, so it is accessible in rural areas. It does not use electricity. It is easy for farmers to use it, and it can completely work off grid. It is simple to use. It does not need any technical expertise. And when it comes to sustainability, it is sustainable because there is no greenhouse gases released by charcoal cooler, unlike other refrigerators, and it is a zero energy, so it is sustainable. Next slide. Our financial projections, we calculated our financial projections based on our revenues will only come from the storage fees that will be paid. So our financials, in the first year, we will work at 75 of our full capacity, and in the second year 85%, then in the last year 100% of our full capacity, because our product will be known at the market, and we will have partnership with diverse stakeholders. So we anticipate that we will we will earn, as you can see on the graph, we will earn about 700 US dollars. And then in the last year, we will earn about 30,345 US dollars. Next slide, please. And then the impact of our product by being successful to to come with a charcoal cooler on the market of Rwanda and Uganda. We will be able to provide employment opportunities, especially for women, because 80% of the farmers we interviewed were women. We will contribute to mitigating the effects of climate change. We will improve nutrition and food security because we will reduce the post-harvest loss. The farmers' income will also increase, and women will be empowered, as I mentioned. Next slide, please. So our funding requirements, here are the main activities that we plan to do in the next 12 to 14 months. We will need to plan and design our product, the MVP testing, investment, and in total, we need 46,700 US dollars to make our product available at the market. Next slide, please.
Team, you're at time, so if you could just cover the next.
Here is the estimated manufacturing cost for our MVP and the final product. We need a 795 US dollars to try out our MVP, and then we plan to construct 10 charcoal cooler if the MVP is successful. And we plan to spend 3,160 US dollars for one 48 cubic meter charcoal cooler. Next slide, please. To ensure there is a sustainable funding in our business, we will use our personal savings. We already have some 3 million savings. We will seek grant funding from Rwandan organizations and international organizations. We have applied to BRD. It's a Rwandan organization that fund youth-led businesses. We applied there. We are open to equity investment, and we will save our revenues from the storage fees. Next slide, please. Here is the team. My teammates are Thierry Nigena. He is a student in conservation agriculture with specialization in sustainable farming practices. Aisha Nalumansi, she has educational background, and she is a community development and engagement officer at Makerere University. And I, Adeline Tetiwabo, I have an educational background in conservation agriculture, value addition, and food processing. Thanks for your attention. We look forward to answering any questions that you may have.
Great. Thank you, team. Charcoal Food Solution, over to you, judges.
Yeah, thank you very much for the very holistic and very high quality presentation. It's obviously a really important problem, for the farmers, the spoil of their produce that you're solving. It seems to be a very elegant solution. So kudos to you and the team. My question is about the underlying technology to this. First of all, to what degree is that a proven technology that's been used? What are sort of the risks, sort of building something like this, that it may work or not? And the third one is just in terms of some of the performance criteria, like by how many degrees does a storage facility like this actually reduce the ambient temperature in the cooling environment? Just to get a little bit understand how powerful or how, what the risks for this type of technology are.
Thank you very much. I can answer that. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
Okay. About that question, I think on the slide of the solution, there is a good answer. There are studies that carried out in Uganda, and Uganda, most of the time, they are at the 26 Celsius degree. And after designing that charcoal cooler, they have obtained that when they were testing that charcoal cooler, they have obtained that that charcoal cooler maintained the temperature from like 9 to 10 Celsius degree, which means that according to your price, the temperature can decrease according to the hotness you have, and it can just doesn't have much variation between like the largest and the lowest. So as you can see that in that slide, if they tested in Uganda and they were at 26 Celsius degree, and after testing it, they found that it maintained the temperature between 9 and 10. So its effectiveness, it's about to just maintain the temperature about that range. Thank you.
And has the maybe follow-up question, has that technology already been tested and applied in local markets? Are there other competitors who are doing this, or would that be a first of its kind?
Thank you so much. There is a nearby local market. It is a vegetable market. They have a small charcoal cooler. It is located in the western province of Rwanda. They have tried a small charcoal cooler, and it is efficiently working. So the technology has been yet tested, and according to their measurement, it reduces on average a temperature by 11 degrees Celsius based on the ambient temperature.
Thank you.
Quick question from me, or two quick questions. Thank you, team, for the presentation. So the first one is, how many weeks of the year are farmers harvesting tomatoes in Rwanda?
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So the tomatoes are harvested about 4 times four seasons a year, which means it can be in a season. Tomatoes can be harvested 3 to 4 weeks. By multiplying by 4, it can be 12 to 16 weeks. But there is a program recently initiated by the Ministry of Rwanda, where it requires the farmers not to harvest in consecutive weeks, so that they can cope up with the price fluctuations. So the farmers won't be planting at the same time. They will be alternating, which makes the possibility of having tomatoes in more weeks than it was before. Thanks.
That's great. And I think definitely something you don't need to answer now, but a consideration we've heard from teams in the past that have done, worked on post-harvest loss via cooling solutions, is just making sure that you have a plan for the other seasons and what other produce farmers might be willing to pay to store if you can't fill the coolers with tomatoes year round. But it's great to hear that program will definitely seems like it'll be helpful there. The one other question that I had was around the amount of funding that you're asking for and kind of the costs that you were projecting. So if I'm correct, I think you said that you estimated your costs for the first year would be around $2,200, and your revenue would be a little over $20,000 US. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great. And so then I think I was just wondering if you could clarify then in your funding request slide, I think you said that the capital expenditures for the first 12 to 14 months that you are requesting funding for would be over $40,000. So what is the $2,000 cost referring to on the kind of the slide talking about the profitability in the first year.
Can you please come again on the last point?
Yeah, so I just the two slides that you had, the first slide about you know, kind of the cost of the first year being around $2,000. And then the second slide that was the funding request slide said that the capital expenditures for the first 12 to 14 months, you would need around over $40,000. You were requesting over $40,000 to cover those. So I just wanted to clarify what those two different numbers meant.
Thanks. The cost of 46,000 includes the construction of 10 charcoal cooler, but which is a fixed cost and will be covered over a number of years. The other cost of 2,000, around 2,000, is the operational cost, which include the maintenance cost that will be needed in our operations. So one is the starting up the business, another is annual operational cost. Thanks. Is it clear?
Yeah, that's clear. Thank you so much for that.
We have 5 minutes more for Q&A. So other judges, if you want to chime in, or Katie, if you have
Yes.
more. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, I did have one question on the markets, right? Like the buyers of like this produce. I'm just trying to understand a bit what influence, or maybe no influence, what kind of influence do they have, like on buying and prices, and yeah, what kind of the kind of storage that these farmers use, does that increase the pricing? And yeah, the reason I ask is because you see this a lot in agricultural value chains, that buyers have sort of like the most influence of all the different stakeholders. And sometimes, typically, the person you need to convince, if you want people to adopt a new technology, is typically actually the buyer and not even the farmer. So just want to get a sense of whether you've looked at the buyers and what their considerations are.
Thanks for the great question. In general, the leading consideration of a buyer in Rwanda and Uganda, most of Rwandans are low earners, especially when it comes to farmers. So the most preferable quality of a product they are looking for is the low price. And this is why we decided to come up with an affordable technologies, because a technology might be super working, but because their income can't support them to afford the technology. So the main factor they are looking for is does that the technology works, and if it works, is it affordable based on my income? So the most factor to be considered is make your product be of a lower price compared to alternatives.
Maybe a follow-up
Thanks, Adeline. Thank you.
Maybe a follow-up question on this. What are alternative competitive technologies and offerings on the market? So there's cooling technologies using solar, for instance, that we've heard about before. Like how do you compare to other storage alternatives that farmers may have?
Okay, I can go with this. And during this time that we are working on this project, we had to mainly to go about the affordability. The farmers currently, they use the traditional storage, where they just put the produce in the bucket, and they try to use the water so that they can put that bucket in the water, and so that they can sell their produce in the morning. So and we found that also there are the farmers that are able to use some refrigerators, but as we think of this project, we are targeting the smallholder farmers who maybe not have the access to electricity, which means that for those farmers who don't have access to electricity, they just use traditional storage, which just only can store those produce for hours, not even for a day. So this charcoal cooler is able to just store the produce for just like 2 to 3 weeks, which means that if the farmer harvests the produce, they can be able to sell them in the newer in the coming weeks, which those produce will still be fresh. But if they use the traditional way, they will have to harvest this morning, like this day, and if they miss the customers of tomorrow, they will lose like more of their produce. So our technology will be there to support those who don't have access to electricity, those who has those who are not able to have access to refrigerators, and those one who just miss the time of the market, the time the time of the customers, when they just bring their produce to the market and they don't see the customers that they can be able to use that technology to just store and wait for the other coming customers.
Thank you.
Okay. And that was our last question for Team Choco Fruit. Thank you, team, and thank you, judges, for the great questions as always. Over to our next team is Cocoa World. And I see some of the members here. Great. Samuel, you're presenting. Fantastic. Over to you.
Good evening. Yeah. Can we start?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
All right, we'll start with the video now. My name is Oluwatayo Ayedele, and I'm one of the members of Team Cocoa World. Here at Cocoa World, our mission is to connect sellers to buyers and revolutionize agri-commerce one step at a time. This video depicts some of the progress and some of the solutions to the problems that we are trying to solve at Cocoa World. Please, the video, Samuel. Hello, we can't hear the video. Samuel, are you there? Hello, Samuel.
Is the sound clear now?
Hello, we can't hear the audio. We can't hear the audio, Samuel.
Maybe the share access.
Click on more, and then you'll be able to share sound.
Okay, more. Yeah, got it. Can we start? Okay.
Samuel, yeah, start.
Chocolate lovers all around the world. Little wonder, globally, chocolate companies make over $1 billion per annum. Surprisingly though, only about 6% of this total revenue gets to the people that really matters, the farmers. Why is this so? It begins with the structure of the cocoa supply chain. The cocoa supply chain is managed by numerous intermediaries, which are also known as middlemen, that seeks to connect the local farmers to the exporters or buyers. Let's say, for example, a farmer sells 1 kg of cocoa at $50. Intermediaries could make 4 times as much earnings as this farmer, with the final buyers buying it at $250 per kg. With the effect of the intermediaries lessened, farmers could earn 5 times as much as their current earning. These problems are also translated to farmers having limited market access. Reliable information about the farmers and cocoa origin lost in obscurity and buyers struggling to maintain a stable network of cocoa supply. Cocoa World platform is made to connect the farmers to the buyers. Our solution breakdown include a digital platform in which users, those can be the farmers, the small buyers, or the big buyers, can register on our platform either individually, through a cooperative, or through the use of extension agents. We can verify the users on the platform through their biodata, their location, pricing, tracking information, and other necessary documents. Users can access each other's profile and make transaction requests either as a buyer to farmer or as a farmer to a seller based on needs and preferences. Once a transaction request is made and acknowledged by the other party, our team conducts due diligence, approves and communicates with the parties involved. Transaction is completed via the platform. Our fee is deducted while users can monitor the progress of each transaction on their dashboards. Once the transaction has been concluded, users review the platform and transaction history is updated on the platform, while a copy is made available on the platform's general dashboard. During the initial stage of our prototyping and customer validation, we leverage the use of existing social media platforms such as WhatsApp to test and iterate on our ideas. We were able to build a successful community, and here are some of the reviews.
My name is Victor Ezekiel. I am a resident of Ileluji. Here we predominantly do cocoa farming, but sometimes you will see our youth running from cocoa. They feel it's for old people, but I am really grateful for Cocoa World now. Through their WhatsApp community, I have been using to communicate with people I have not met before and can know tools or new knowledge. Cocoa World digitalization of cocoa trading will draw units to cocoa sector and ensure we can continue producing cocoa. I love the Cocoa World.
My name is Nadana Gidari. I serve as intern for Kabi. Before, all these Oyibo people won't buy cocoa. They go fly plane, come this side to inspect the cocoa before buying. But I thank Cocoa World. This platform will save them their money, and it will also allow the people to fit top dollar with the cocoa farmers. And a big opportunity for cocoa farmers wey dem no dey ship for Cocoa World is the vision for cocoa.
My name is Emmanuel Loga. I have a lot of experience as an extension agent for the government. I have worked with local farmers in Kwara State and Ekiti States, and I am super excited for a platform such as this because it doesn't just increase the earnings of the farmers, it brings the farmer closer to the consumers. In a digital era such as this, there are boundless opportunities for farmers to explore, which I am super excited about. I have established communications with farmers in Kwara State and Ekiti State, and really look forward to using this platform in the next cocoa season. Thank you so much, Cocoa World, for a platform such as this.
Hello, my name is Rostrom and I work as the partnering agent with most organizations. I'm so excited to get to know about the amazing work at Cocoa World. It is my pleasure to work with incredible people at Cocoa World in building fair trade organizations, helping the lives of many farmers, and building sustainable communities. Thumbs up to Cocoa World.
We aim to alleviate.
Yeah, please back to the presentation. Hello, Samuel.
Different ideas and iteration.
So, a market opportunity. Hello, can you hear me? The market opportunity. Yes, please. Yeah, so 4.9 million tons of cocoa is produced globally as of the 2021-2022 cocoa season. We are targeting a global market of $1 billion out of a total available market of about $139 billion, with Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana producing 60% of the total global production in the 2021-2022 cocoa season. Next slide, please. A business model is 5% of the total transaction on the platform and is added to the fee of anyone that initiated the transaction or set the transaction either as a buyer or seller. This means that as a buyer on the transaction, if you initiated the transaction, the 5% fee goes to your part. And if you initiated the transaction as a seller, the transaction fee goes to your part. In the harvest season for about 3,000 tons of cocoa sold or bought, we'll make a revenue of about $650,000 with our packages coming with access to exclusive resources, networking, funding, fast access to market, and pre-harvest investing guidance and mentoring. Next slide, please. This is a report of our customer segments, which shows where our customer segments are initially concentrated and which part of our social media platforms we could use to better reach them. Next slide, please. Our go-to-market strategy includes using social media channels as LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, the use of extension agents and farmers cooperatives, the use of email to reach bigger buyers, and the use of head of rural farming communities, while also using flyers and brochures to communicate with users on how to navigate our platform. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is the slides that shows the team expertise with Samuel serving as our team lead. I serve as the research or business development. Anita as the social media or business development. Next slide, please. Next slide. These are financial projections that shows that from year one, we could have an upward increase of about 40%, down to year two, which could increase down to year three to about 70%, both on the types of number of subscribers and then on the amount earned and the percentage increase in the tons of cocoa that we sell. Next slide. Finally, we're asking MVP funding of about $9,000 for our MVP and $25,000 for our next for the next 6 months for our business development. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Team Cocoa World. And over to the judges for Q&A.
I'm happy to get started unless Clinton or Katie, you'd like to.
I think Katie's having some trouble with her connection. I know she can hear the presentation, but I don't know if she's having trouble unmuting for just a couple minutes. So Tom, please go ahead.
Yeah, so thank you for the presentation and the video. And, again, it seems like a really, really big market opportunity, particularly looking at the spread between what middleman's currently making. So you're onto something potentially really big. I'm trying to understand the value add of the platform in addition to obviously that it's a big profit margin potentially, right? In terms of what a farmer gets and what the cocoa beans are then being sold for. So that is attractive to the farmer. What about the seller of these products? You haven't spoken much about them. How would you build relationships with them, getting them on your platform, and what is the proposition for them, why they should go with you rather than these existing middlemen that they're working with?
All right. I think I'll take the question. Am I audible? Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me? Am I audible enough?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead.
All right. For the side of the buyers, which happens to be for mostly the European market, they will be getting quality. Initially now, most times they do travel over here to assess the qualities of their cocoa beans. But with the platform, we ensure the quality, we ensure that there's quality control. And for that reason, it's a big plus on their side. Apart from that, there is the European Union consumer rights or consumer right that enables or gives the European consumers this right to know exactly where the cocoa is being sourced from. So they have issues like they want to know whether their cocoa is being sourced from areas where there are deforestation, area where there are child trafficking, whether the farmers that produce these cocoa beans are being well paid. So they don't have to worry about all these things because our platform ensures that there's traceability in the cocoa supply chain, and this gives them this assurance that they are getting value for their money. So these are all what the buyers are going to get from their side of the deal. Now, on developing relationships with the buyers, yes, basically we are trying to incorporate the experience of some of these middlemen. You know, some of these middlemen are well experienced. They already have relationships with some of these European buyers. So some of these middlemen will actually work with us as extension agents, and we will try and establish communications. We will try and establish communications with the European buyers by the use of these middlemen, some of these middlemen that will be serving as extension agents for us. Apart from that, there are some of these organizations that also share the same visions, missions, and values with us. For example, Fair Trade, which was mentioned in the video, is an organization that ensures that farmers worldwide, especially cocoa farmers, they get the value for what they the value for the hard work they put in. And so Fair Trade organization, they have this fair trade mark that is always given on each of their goods. So of course their goods are a little bit more expensive because of the fair trade mark than others, but it ensures that as a consumer, you are feeling satisfied knowing that yes, you are paying the right amount for the right thing. So these are all our plans. Number one, establishing good relationship with the European buyers, and number two, ensuring that the buyers too, on the other side, they have a lot of benefits to this platform.
I don't know if you're fine with that. I want to add something small. Can I go ahead?
Continue, please.
Okay, so just to add that as part of maintaining our customer relations, we are also trying to do direct mailing of our big customers reputable in the market, known for buying in large scale. So in a sense, we are going to do personalized email sending to some of these people that will most likely not come out and say, hey, I'm looking for a buyer, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. We are going to personalize and put our value position at the top notch to extend that attract these people to them, so that when we send them mail and give them our promised value proposition, they are more attracted to work with us. That is why we are having our developmental plan to start traction from the bottom, or start with a few early adopters, so that we gain the reputation of this consistency of supply and traceable way of producing cocoa seeds at quality. Then we can easily onboard bigger buyers by reason of the traction that we've got so far. So that's what I just wanted to add. How does play, Tom? Tom, did you get me, please?
Yes. Yes, I did. The connection was not always very clear, but I think I got the gist of it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sue.
Yes, I do have a question, specifically around like the middlemen, or this middleman that you're talking about, because I think very often, like in African agricultural value chains, I think what's not spoken about is the value add that this middlemen offer. I think things like logistics and credit and all of those, how are you going to do those things? Because those things still need to be done by someone. Again, it's typically not about matching buyer to sell. It's not just about matching buyer to seller. Someone has to move the product from point A to point B. And then on top of that, someone probably has to pay the farmer upfront, and typically the buyer is not willing to do that. So I'm just trying to understand how you'll handle all of these things that this middlemen currently do, because those middlemen also do some things that the market was not doing before, hence why they exist.
Okay, I think I'll let you do this on behalf of
Yeah.
the Okay, so talking about the middlemen and about how we are handling the market opportunity with regards to logistics and all that. So we are setting out in a way that is going to involve us partnering with 3PL logistics services systems, as in third-party logistics services systems. So when there's a big order on order placed via our platform, we are going to have, by reason of our contract with these third-party logistics systems, we're going to have them come for the produce, they're going to send it to the customer, whatever, regardless of whatever they find themselves, and then our contract with the
third-party logistics system is also going to be another source of revenue for us, because by reason of our contract, they are going to be getting jobs to do, and if we are giving them jobs to do, then we are going to get a discount on the delivery cost that the customer ends up incurring. So we end up getting some level of commission from that side. And talking about the second part of the question, which has to do with how we're going to, I don't know if I got it clearly. You're mentioning aside logistics and transportation, you sort of added another part. Did I get that part? You said something else.
Yes, logistics and credit.
Okay, yeah. About the credit part, we are modeling our business in a way that we are going to do pre-season orders. We realize that to hamper or get a huge chunk of the market, these farmers sometimes take credit from these middlemen, I should likely mention. So they take credit from them ahead of the farming season. So by reason of our platform, we are going to open it up to farm investors or people who are potentially into this field, who don't know so much about the cocoa field, but then are willing to trust their money into the hands of these farmers by virtue of the information that we provide them, the details and the evidence of the work that is going on the field. So we have these farmer profiles, we have these reports, we have these videos of evidence of what the farmers are doing. We put that on the platform. People come in, they see what these people are going through to provide the cocoa that they benefit the chocolates from. And then if the interest is peaked, we give them the chance to do a pre-season investment. So it's based on the pre-season investment that we are going to do credit on the side of the farmers. So let's say pre-season, you're a farmer, I come to you, pre-season investment is about, you need money to farm. So we take, you owe us a bag of cocoa for about $200. That's pre-season. So it's a risk on the side of the investor, which will make them understand. Because if the cocoa comes out from the farm and the price shoots up, they benefit. If the cocoa comes out from the farm and the price goes down, they also lose. But the potency of the cocoa going high when it comes out on the market is something that is actually very, 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 very common. So in that case, it's going to be quite a decisive environment for people to really invest their money in. And if this goes on well, farmers give the money to invest in their farms and end up selling the product back to us. So they farm, take money from us, farm, get the product, give it to us, we sell it to a bigger market, and then give the money back to the investors who put their money into the business. I hope that helps with answering the question. Is that clear?
Yeah, that helps. That helps. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, Samuel. Just so you know, when you're answering questions, we can hear you, but you're a little softer, making it harder to hear. So if it's possible to move closer to the mic or something, I think that would help.
Sure, I will do that. I'll do that.
We have another 5 minutes for Q&A here, judges.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. So I was cutting in and out a little bit presentation, so apologies if I missed something here, but I had two questions. So the first is around some of the challenges of validating basically that these, like the farmers that you're sourcing from are, meeting all of your standards in terms of like quality, in terms of transparency, in terms of all of that. And I know I saw that you have self-reported data, it seems like, that is going to validate these things. But I was curious, are you also planning to like visit the farms to do audits on this? I know I've read about some of the challenges of, like truly ensuring that not just in cocoa production, but
Okay.
Katie, I think we lost you.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, maybe we wait before Katie comes. So maybe I can ask. Oh, Katie, you're back. We lost you.
Sorry,
You have
I
to
don't know.
repeat it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why my connection is dropping and then restarting like that. I was basically asking like, what challenges do you foresee in confirming the quality and the transparency of the farms that you're sourcing from?
I would like to come in here. I'd like to answer the question, Samuel. Can I?
All right, sure. Please go on.
All right. So basically in most cocoa producing countries, I'm speaking for Nigeria as an example. Nigeria is our primary target community. We find out that there are some avenues that have been put in place to ensure quality control. For example, in Ondo State, we have the Cocoa House at Ileology. So Cocoa House at Ileology is primarily consists of individuals that are trained to assess qualities of cocoa. So they assess things like the moisture, they assess things like the humidity, and a lot of other criteria or factors that European buyers would actually be so concerned about. So we will partner with the Cocoa House at Ileology. And in the video we showed one of the intent that talks about the problem the European buyers have in assessing the quality or controlling the quality of the cocoa beans because of the distance. But now, by partnering with us, by using our platform, we can partner with these indigenous organizations, or I call them factories, such as the Cocoa House at Ileology and some other similar ones across cocoa producing countries, so that they can be on ground to help us assess the quality of the cocoa, and they confirm it by giving us a document that can be sent over to the European buyers or whoever buyers need to buy it. And this can ensure that we directly can help them to control the quality of the cocoa beans and the quality of the production that is needed from them. I don't know if that answers the question.
Can I add a little bit on that? Is it possible?
All right, go on.
Okay, so as part of our maintaining quality, so we are starting off with our agents that are going to get or recruit these farmers into our network. So we are starting with a trusted network of farmers that we will self-validate to test, see their farming process, see what goes into it, what kind of fertilizers do they use, what really goes into the cocoa that they produce, what is their labor mix, what other things do they consider, because these factors are the factors that the international market looks out for, whether there's child labor involved in producing the cocoa, so that people don't feel guilty for eating chocolate, And so we are going to scrutinize these farmers, first early adopters, into our farmer network. And when we do that, the next system of adopting new farmers is going to be based on recommendations. So it's like you are in the circle, just like the module that the Bugattis, the Ferraris use. You are in the circle, and if within the circle you see another person that is good enough, you recommend them. If we don't get recommendations from our farmers within the circle, especially within that particular area, then it's quite dicey for us to accept you, because we can't trust your business process and all that, because they have known you. So it's going like TOT, train the training, they trained at training to be trained, sort of a method. But then aside that, if we go to a new space, if you might want to ask, how do we do it that if we go to a new space? If we go to a new space, we branch to Ghana, which we are looking forward to in the future. We come to Ghana, want to relaunch. We are going to do the on-ground check again as an starting. But if we are based on a particular community, for instance, Ondo State, as we are starting with Ondo State and some village in Ondo, we are going to be using the recommendation method of adopting farmers into our network. And then that's because we are setting our value proposition to the farmers to be a little bit competitive, so that it's going to be like people are yearning to be within the network. And then we are more or less like restricting them somehow, but then to a greater extent, it's still whetting user appetite and making sure that the value is well spread across in many other ways, benefits people, because we have a huge plan for this. I hope this helps in some way.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you too.
Great. So hard to believe that with that, we have powered through all 5 teams that the time just felt like it flew. So thank you to the teams for making very comprehensive, very engaging presentations. I know sometimes we had a few technical challenges going between the videos and the slides, but it was all worth it. And we really appreciate the thought as well as all the preparation you have put into it. I now wanted to hand off before we go into judges' deliberation. I wanted to take a few minutes for Tom to address the group and do a good a round of thank yous for all of us. So over to you, Tom.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. And I really want to close with a very heartfelt thank you to everybody who made this happen. We've had mentors, some of them who are here with us today, who have generously shared their time and expertise with our challengers, and who've along the way have become friends and guides for many of them. We frequently hear from challengers that they learned a lot from you, and that they very much benefited from your wisdom and insights and the time that you gave to them. So thank you very much, mentors, for contributing to the success of the Fishbowl Challenge and of the teams that you've been mentoring. The next thank you goes to the challengers, those of you who presented here and those who initially applied and were part of the challenge in the earlier rounds. Quite simply, you're the reason why the Fishbowl Challenge exists today, and you've shown us that there's a generation of social entrepreneurs ready to have a meaningful impact with great ideas and energy and a lot of passion to bring change to your communities and to have a positive impact there. Also want to give a big thank you to my fellow judges who are here spending your free day, a number of hours in here, but also in preparation and the thoughtful questions and thoughts and advice that we'll be following up with the team as well. The judges' feedback is really critical for the ongoing growth and the progress that the 5 teams are going to be making, even the ones that are not winning today. We're obviously hoping that you are continuing, and this feedback that's provided by the judges is really, really important. So on your startup journey. Also, big thank you to the friends and supporters. Some of you I've seen on the live stream, and I will, hopefully also be able to see some of the comments later on post this event. You've reached out individually with encouragement and support and ideas. And they've not just been here in sort of, in strengths with their words but also provided financial support, which we depend on to be able to support the teams going forward. And last but not least, everybody who works on the Fishbowl Challenge team, often behind the scenes, who takes care of all the logistics. As Embark, who've handled, for instance, all the technical details and the preparation with the team. Vandana, who so very ably led us through the event today and played a crucial role in the lead up to this event. And there's many other tasks that need to be done. Fun fact is that our team members, who work on a weekly basis together, they dial in from many different countries, many different continents actually, and we ourselves are sort of a small version of a Fishbowl Challenge team ourselves, trying to solve what we think is a big need for our community, for the societies overall, by working together as a global team. So thank you all very much, and for making this again a very, very successful Fishbowl event and year, and handing it back to Vandana.
Great. Thank you, Tom. Feel free, everyone, to use your favorite emoji of choice or just good old-fashioned round of applause for all our team members today and our judges. Thank you again for joining us. We will have this posted on our Fishbowl Challenge YouTube channel. And, honestly, we just find like as we roll out new generations of the Fishbowl Challenge, new versions of it, that people repeatedly come back to these videos to get ideas, get inspiration, etc. So definitely look out for that. Feel free to share that Fishbowl Challenge channel with your friends and family as well. So we look forward to staying in touch. I'll request the judges to stay on while the challengers can go ahead and drop off now.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
I hear from our team, Mubarak and Regina. Obviously, please stay on. Feel free to stay on. And I'll wait till it's only the judges to get deliberation going.
Yeah. I'm also going to officially end the live stream and the recording.
Thank you.